we have to move. So, we've been living in London now for 12 years. And in that time, we have had 4 apartments. So we've moved on average every 3 years. Is that right? Bermondsey, Rotherhithe, Bermondsey. Yeah, okay, so yeah, 4 apartments. We really love where we live right now, but unfortunately, our landlord is selling. And so we got the tap on the shoulder that he was likely to sell. So we knew this was probably coming, but it's still kind of heartbreaking because, as I said, we've lived here now for 2 years and we've really, really liked it. We're kind of in the perfect area of Southeast London. We're so conveniently placed for both of our work. It's gonna be sad, I'm not gonna lie, but also it's gonna be a huge pain in the ass to have to do another move. The good news is I am a military brat, and if there's one thing I can do really well, it is move large quantities of goods and people on very short notice. But that means that all of my plans for the rest of the year, lots of the things I thought I was going to accomplish or do or what have you, has now been scrambled because as of the other day, we put in an offer for a new place to live. It's been provisionally accepted, subject to references, which we know aren't going to cause any kind of problem. So I, military brat that I am in go time. I am already looking at booking movers and packing up the house and trying to get a plan in place because I don't want to get any closer to Christmas than I have to be perfectly honest. Not only that, it's September in the UK, which September and October are probably the most beautiful times of year in my personal opinion. I'm a fall girly, I love it. It's the best food, the best holidays, and the best clothes. I'm ready. But now I have to move house instead. And this is also the time of year where things like work start picking up their real social calendar in anticipation of the winter holidays and the Christmas period. So there are after work events and there are commitments and there are just, life gets busy at this time of year. So all of that being said, we're not going to do an end of the year empties video because I'm not going to move trash from one house to the next. We are going to do a 3/4 of the way empties video catch up, and I'm going to tell you what kind of shit I've been slathering on my body and face, what I think about it, and we'll get a sense of how much we use up in a year. And in advance, I am deeply shamed and I'm sorry. Except I'm not. We're absolutely going to be here again in a year's time. Let's go. Okay, let's start with makeup. I've actually gotten through quite a bit of stuff this year, which is always really exciting. Let's start with face products. I got through 2 foundations this year so far. One is a smaller travel size and one is a full size. The first is Chanel Le Beige. The Water Fresh tint, which is a lovely product. I've bought it and used it up before, but I really like that it came in this smaller sized container this time. I have kind of realized and accepted the fact that I'm not a big foundation kind of girl. Most of the things that I like are much lighter and fresher on the skin. I'm not looking to lay down a huge layer of slap when I do my foundation. I do have my problem spots and areas that I try to cover up, but I'm pretty fortunate in the health and quality of my skin. I do spend money on it, as anyone who's watched me for more than 6 months knows. But skin tints also just vibe with how I like to do my makeup. So really like this, probably will purchase and use again in the future, subject to how my current products pan out for me. I'm actually only using one foundation now. Like, having used up these 2 products, I only have one foundation in rotation, and I'm sure we'll see at least one of them in next year's empties. So the other foundation I used up was the Chantecaille Future Skin Gel Foundation. This was, again, very lovely, extremely light, extremely hydrating, very sheer coverage. It doesn't build, but it's not supposed to. It evens out a complexion really nicely. I use the shade Porcelain because pale. And I really, really liked this product. The only thing that I didn't like so much about it is the fact that it's in a pot. Foundations can go off really easily. And the fact that you're constantly dipping fingers or brushes into it just means that the potential for bacterial, not infection, what am I thinking? Who knows? The chances are that it could go off because bacteria gets into it or it dries out or something. But that minor quibble aside, I used only this until it was gone, and so it worked really well. Would recommend it. Again, I'm just using something different at the moment that I really, really like, but definitely don't regret this product or using it all the way up. Okay, let's see. So far this year, in the world of eyes and brows, I have used up 2 mascaras. One is the Merit mascara, it's called Clean Lash, really nice, plenty effective. The other one is a Surratt mascara, and that old chestnut, you're going to be hearing it again. I got this in a advent calendar and really liked it. The Merit one I purchased, and I only really ever have one mascara going at a time. I know what I like in this kind of category, so I'm always happy to try new stuff if I get it through a purchase order or an advent calendar or something. But yeah, simple, clean, black, usually tubing mascaras are where it's at for me. I tend to go through them in about 3 months, so the fact that I've used up 2 and I'm coming to the tail end of my 3rd is bang on target for me. Okay, eye products. I used up 2 Victoria Beckham Beauty eye products this year. One is an eye pencil, the eyeliner in satin. This is in the shade Quartz. You'll notice it's not used up to the end, but that's because I used it to the point that the pencil itself crumbled and fell out of the remaining bits of the wood pencil around it. Beautiful products. I love these eyeliners. I have a couple more that I'm still using up and working through. I've used them fully up in the past, and I'm sure I will again. I also used up one of her eyewear cream shadows. This is kind of a cream crayon style pencil that you just smudge it on. This is in the shade Trench. It's very basic beige. I'm not surprised that I use something like this up all the way. It's incredibly basic. I think if you have the right skin tint, you could probably use this as an eyeshadow base or primer, but it was great to pop into a bag and put on my face on the way to work, as I too often do. Lovely. No complaints about this product. I really love Victoria Beckham Beauty, as anyone who's watched me for a little while knows. Okay, in the realm of brows, another Victoria Beckham Beauty product. I think this actually just launched this year. Her Baby Blade Microfine Brow Pencil. Very typical kind of brow product. Draw on one end, spoolie on the other. The shade that I got in this was extremely good for me. It was a medium brown. It wasn't my favorite brow product, but that's because I'm weird about brow products. I think I'm still on the hunt for one that I really, really love. I'm one of those girls who definitely had weird shaped brows to start and then plucked them a little bit too much in my early teen days. I'm still reaping the consequences. I also have uneven eyes and brows to start. So it's a problem area for me, and it's not a skill I've ever really acquired. But I'm always learning. And in terms of the quality of the product, the goo, the gel inside this was really lovely, really good color match. I like it when the spoolies are connected directly into the product. I'm not sure I would buy this again just because there are cheaper options to try and kind of work my way through. But love the brand, love the color match, and if you've got the money, sure, why not? Once I used that up, however, I thought, okay, I gotta find something cheaper. And so something new to me that I tried this year was the Benefit Precisely My Brow Detailer. It's in the shade 3.5. The reason I got it, and you can't tell now obviously, is the tip of this thing is tiny. And when your problem for me is like weird patchy bits or sparse brows, what I'm looking to do for a brow product, I think, is to try and draw in some of the lines where my brows should have been, if not for my childhood self. We all make mistakes. Again, built-in spoolie, love it. This was a really lovely product, again, a good color match, but weirdly, the tip was too fine for me and it kept breaking. I'm too heavy-handed, I think. So even though I used it up and I got several months worth of use out of it, I suspect that I also wasted more product than I would like. So was happy to buy it, was happy to use it up, and again, I'm trying something new as a result. One more complexion product I forgot. I finally used up a highlighter, the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Elevated Glow in, I think this one is Cosmic Rose. Beautiful product. I am 100% sure that Lisa Eldridge is now the brand that takes up the most space in my makeup drawers and cupboards. I love her. I love so much of what she's produced. This is a beautiful product and extremely elegant, and unlike a lot of other highlighters, it doesn't give you, a stripe that you can see from space. It really creates an almost luminous, almost wet kind of effect on the cheeks. She's pretty good about different kinds of shades and undertones, particularly in her foundation. So Cosmic Rose worked really beautifully for me. And I am not purchasing anything new to replace it yet. I have some powder highlighters that are old, but I don't wear highlighter as much as I used to. So if you're a lighter user like me, this is a really, really good option. And I'm delighted to have used it up. Mwah, beautiful stuff. Okay, lipstick. So this category is a bit of a lie because I genuinely used up some lipstick products and other ones went off. So I'm going to be transparent about that. The products that I used up all the way to the end, again, you'll see here there's 3 Lisa Eldridges. I love her. I love her products, and her lipsticks are beautiful. I used up 2 of her velvet products, and 1 I dropped and sadly broke. So, that one was mine, but so this isn't an empty so much as I'm keeping it with my empties so that I can recycle it responsibly. The 2 that I used up are Velvet Dragon, which you can see a little bit in the base there, is a gorgeous kind of burnt orange red. And the other one is called Velvet Cinnabar, which is a darker brick sort of red. Cinnabar is a bit vampier. Dragon is, again, a bit brickier. Oh, just gorgeous. I'm an orange red kind of girl. That's what I like. That's what I gravitate to. And so both of these shades, when they came out, were instant purchases for me. And again, I've used them all the way to the end. Really love them. Not replacing them because I have too many other lip products to get through, but probably will be repurchasing these again in the future. I love these shades. The shade that was victimized by my clumsiness is Velvet Duchess. Again, a beautiful kind of vampy sort of shade. This one, it does have a bluer tone to it, but again, it's kind of a deep brownish, berryish. Yeah, gorgeous. It's really pretty. Was sorry to have ruined this one because again, we're moving into fall now. It's the season for witch lipstick, and this would have been perfect, but for my clumsiness, it's a curse. This one was a long-standing product that I used up quite a bit before it went off just because I didn't use it up fast enough. It's Max Marrakesh, which is again a beautiful kind of brickish brown. I don't know what's going on with me. Quite suddenly, I'm finding myself more with those brick or brown colors, and I've never exactly been a 90s girl gravitating towards that look, but this was the year that I started using more of those colors in my collection. So got a lot of really good use out of this, and then when it started smelling decidedly off, it was okay to retire that one. Proper empties again. Let's talk about perfumes. So this year so far, I've used up two. One is Memo Paris, which beautiful brand. I actually discovered this scent in Paris at Le Bon Marché when Sarissa and I went to Paris with our husbands. I think Sarissa's husband was her then boyfriend at the time. But I discovered this scent and kicked myself for not purchasing it because it was beautiful. So I couldn't stop thinking about it. And so when we returned from our Paris trip, I went online and I found a retailer that could sell it to me. This is in this the scent Kedu. Beautiful. As you can see, also a very big, beautiful, hefty bottle. Very good sized product. I got at least a year's use out of this, if not more. Would absolutely love to purchase from the brand again. It is pricey, but again, if you like scents and if you like being bougie, just gorgeous stuff. If I'm remembering correctly, one of the odd notes for me was sesame seed. I'd never really smelt anything that had used that as a note before, but again, it's got a woody sort of grassy but not green, almost like a dried grass sort of scent. Oh, beautiful stuff and unusual. So if you don't want to smell like everybody else, which I always prefer, beautiful scent. The other one I used up was Wilhelm Perfumery. The scent is Poets of Berlin. This was again another advent calendar item for me, and again, unusual. I've not smelt this kind of scent before. I really like, if you like scents and you like rotating through them, I don't wear different ones every day. I do like the idea of a signature scent, at least for a season. So this is one that I've worn throughout summer. It's a little bit heavier for summer. I would say it's more of an autumnal or winter sort of scent for most people, but I like smelling dramatic, so don't really care. This one was definitely lighter, and you could wear it in spring or summer, and I think it would. I think it sits on skin very warmly, and it warms with you in a really lovely way. As does this. But yeah, 2 this year so far. Really excited. Hopefully, I'll get some more before the end of the year. But again, we're moving. Okay, the big stuff. This year so far, I have used up 2 micellar waters. I could have sworn I used more. I normally get through one of these every few months, and to only have 2, it's kind of odd for me, but yeah. Garnier Skin Active, the one with the pink cap. It's just as good to me as the Bioderma that is, kind of the gold standard for the industry. So Garnier, beautiful stuff, recommend. And while we're on the subject of cleansers then, got through quite a few this year so far. I think I mentioned in my video last year of kind of craving the number 7 melting gel cleanser. And I'm pretty sure I bought this after making that video because it was so good and I missed it so much. Really great for winter, fall, winter, when you might have more to take off your face or more layers of makeup. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's gel that you rub onto your face, you move it around. As you massage it, it starts to break down and then emulsifies with water. That's kind of become my favorite cleanser type in recent years. It's not always the best for like a morning cleanse or when you just want to wash or refresh your face, but if you have stuff to get off your face, that's kind of what I'm gravitating towards, that kind of gel to emulsified kind of texture, and also similarly balm cleaners. So got through this one during the winter time and then went straight back into a beloved favorite, Pharmacy Green Clean, which is a proper balm cleanser. You scoop out the bit from the inside. Again, you rub it on your face and it turns almost to an oil with the warmth of your skin, which then emulsifies with water. This gets shit off. It's incredible. Squeaky clean after using this sort of thing. I really love it. As soon as I used it up, I bought another one. I've already started using it as the weather started cooling down. And again, I have more things to take off my face at the end of the day. Love it. Can't recommend it enough. Won't ever stop using it, I don't think. More in the refreshing category of cleanser, however, an old favorite, the Fresh Soy Face Cleanser. This is a travel size because we did some traveling this year. Let's see, Jeff hiked Mont Blanc with one of our friends from university this year. That was his big trip, and I went to New York for my best friend's 40th birthday party, which was fantastic. So we both of us needed some travel-sized bits and pieces. So this was one of them that I used up. Another one was Youth to the People's Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamins Superfood Cleanser. I've used up a full-size one of these before. This one I'm pretty sure was an advent calendar item again, but again, really good for travel purposes. So I was thrilled to use it. These are not like balm or gel cleansers. These are more foaming sort of cleansers. Both really good. Love them. This have purchased and used up over and over again in the past. Will likely purchase it again in the future. As much as I liked Youth to the People, again, the kind of formula it is isn't my preferred cleansing style, but it's really lovely if you like that sort of foaming, lathery sort of cleanser that you can take things off your face with. I do find though that it doesn't always get things like mascara off, which is why I prefer balm cleansers. And then, oh, here we go. Another one, Simple's Micellar Gel Wash Cleanser. I think I just needed to pick up something when I ran out, so I went for something simple. Micellar water, again, is really good for removing eye makeup. I normally just use it with, cotton pads or reusable pads. Perfectly lovely, very cheap, available at Boots or any kind of drugstore. Nothing fancy, but perfectly adequate. On the more expensive side, Caroline Hirons, queen, icon, legend. Her brand is Skin Rocks. I've used many of her products before. She featured very heavily last year. She will feature heavily again through the rest of this video. She introduced the cream cleanser. I believe this was this year. And weirdly, I didn't love it as much for, again, the way I need to wash my face. Now, for the morning, or again, if it's a weekend and I'm not putting anything on, beautiful stuff. Really, really hydrating if you have drier skin. But for me, I find it doesn't take everything off my eyes particularly. Now, the caveats. I have kind of greasy eyelids. And I use waterproof mascara, and I try to get eye makeup that doesn't move because I'm not a girl who likes to reapply my eye makeup or anything like that to the day. I will put on my lipstick, I will refresh my lip gloss, whatever, but nose and up, I'm doing once and that's it. So the fact that this doesn't take eye makeup, or at least, heavier eye makeup off for me, makes it slightly less useful to the kind of way I wear makeup. But again, for morning or lighter cleanses, really lovely. It comes in a fragrance and an unfragrance formula. I do think this product, again, is kind of expensive, and there are cheaper cleanser options that I could use. That being said, I did repurchase this because she came out with it in a larger size, which I thought was a better value for money. So for summertime, when I was wearing lighter face of makeup or products, it worked, it was lovely, and I was feeling bougie. So I did repurchase this. I'm not sure if I'll repurchase it again once I'm done with the bigger size. Only time will tell. Okay, let's stick with the face in that case. And let's stick with Skin Rocks. I think I used up 2 or 3 of these last year. Once again, I have used up 2 of Skin Rocks, the moisturizer. Pricey product, beautiful product, really hydrating, beautiful stuff. I will keep purchasing these. I have another one on the go at the moment. I probably will use up at least one more before the end of the year. Highly, highly, highly recommended. I think I said this in last year's video. Caroline Hirons herself would give you a long list of recommendations of options for good moisturizing products that aren't as expensive as hers, but I like that it's an independent brand. I like that it's women owned. I like it. I like her. I like what she sells. It works for me. I'm gonna keep buying it. Love it. Ooh, this. This was pricey, and I have no idea how I justified this to myself. This is the Sisley Black Rose Skin Infusion Cream. This shit is expensive. I think I used up a travel sized or deluxe sample size of this in years previous and really, really loved it because it is a beautiful product, really, really luxurious. This is too expensive. I can't in good conscience recommend this to anybody, but you know, I used it up. I loved it. I would not repurchase it. I mentioned traveling. Here's some examples of travel products. Dr. Barbara Sturm, not Strom, remember last year, deluxe travel size of her face cream, and Tatcha. This is not the water cream, I don't think, the dewy skin cream. Both of these, again, were purchased for travel when I just needed something small in my bag. Loved them. They were great. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. One got into the wrong pile. Augustinius Bader, the Rich Cream. Horrifically expensive brand. Gorgeous. Love it. Got this in an advent calendar. Was delighted to use it. Can't in good conscience recommend it for the price point, but I'm probably not gonna stop buying it, you guys. I'm so sorry. It's great. I hope I get more of this in this year's advent calendar. Love it. Beautiful. Oh, the Rich Cream. The Rich Cream is really good for winter. It's good for the cold if your skin needs an extra layer or extra love in the cold weather. Alrighty, let's talk about where I spend my money. Let us talk about treatment products. So, no, I'm an idiot. Two more. Another travel-sized moisturizer, Youth to the People, Air Whip Moisture Cream. I think this either was like a birthday gift or an advent calendar bit, but it was perfect for travel size, so that's what I used it for. And then Auto is exfoliating cleanser. Thought it was good. Helps for a very gentle kind of exfoliation. Pretty sure this was an advent calendar item, and not sure if this goes in my cleanser or my treatments pile. It kind of lives between worlds, so this is a lovely little transition piece. Properly now, onto treatments. Got through quite a few things this year. Let's start out with Medicate Oxyar Peptides. This is a fun little product. I got this because I had a facial that the practitioners at the spa use Medicate products, and this was an item that they really, really used, and they recommended to me specifically for my hyperpigmentation, which I have in kind of a weird sort of mask area around my face. And I'd been getting treatments with them specifically to treat that, and this was a product that they used, and I saw really good results with it. So this is kind of fun. It comes like this in two separate little aluminum droppers, and that's to preserve the product for longer. So this is half of a month's supply theoretically. You push into the product. There's a little button that allows you to do that. You shake it up for a while, and then you can screw on the dropper and use that to apply the product. So again, this is about a month's supply. Medicate is an expensive brand. I have always found it to be really, really good. It works for what I'm trying to do with it. But definitely do your research and not in the creepy QAnon way. To make sure that you know what you're buying, what you're trying to use it for, and that you're using it for the right amount of time to test whether it works for you or not. Like with all things brightening, which this is, you must use SPF with it. You must. Do not skip on your SPF. We'll come back to that. What else did I use this year? In the world of acids, I used Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. This is a cult favorite for a reason. pretty sure advent calendar or birthday gift or what have you, just a little sample size. I wasn't as prolific with my acids this year. And it kind of showed in my skin. So more recently that I've gotten back into a better routine in that. So were I filming this in December properly, I would probably have more products in that space to show off, because I've really started using them now that summer is winding down to undo some of the damage that I've done to myself. But this is fantastic, particularly if you have blackheads, which I do on my nose. This is a really good way to help keep those at bay. Oh, yes, I showed Simple, a brand earlier for a cleanser, and once again, I have used up 2 of the hyaluronic acid serums. I think I've talked about these in years past. This is a fantastic drugstore option for hyaluronic acid, which is, I believe it's a humectant. So again, if you're looking to hydrate your skin, keep hydration in, this is a good layer to use. You do need to make sure that you cover it over with moisturizer at the end, but yeah, highly recommend. We'll probably continue to buy. Really, really cheap, really works. Another hyaluronic acid that I got this year, I'm pretty sure, again, this is an advent calendar, Dr. Seba's Hyaluronic Acid Serum Repair. I have no idea what happened to the cap. I couldn't tell you. This isn't it. But this came in an advent calendar, was happy to use it, but definitely wouldn't repurchase it at the price point that it costs when I can get something really good from the drugstore that I find really reliable. What other serums have I put on my face this year? Let's talk again, Medicate. This is the Crystal Retinol 3. Vitamin A kind of product. So retinols, retinoids, retinols, they all do slightly different things at different efficacy points. This is a medium strength vitamin A treatment. It's not prescription strength, but it is pretty decent if what you're trying to do is get into a vitamin A routine to even up your skin tone. I'm in my late 30s now, and again, I have hyperpigmentation and kind of uneven skin tone, so that is something where I spend my effort and my money. Medicaid is expensive, but I thought this product really worked, and I will probably consider repurchasing it again in the future. Working through other products in the meantime, though. Augustinius Bader, this old chestnut. This is the face oil, advent calendar item. I don't love face oils or body oils, as I've talked about before, but again, during the cold winter months, sometimes you just need that kind of added layer of protection. So for me, a travel-sized or a sample-sized portion is a really fantastic option. I cannot see myself ever buying a full-size version of this. It's too pricey, and I don't get through it enough. I couldn't justify it, but I'm always happy to see it in sample size. Votary Night Star Serum. I really liked this. I'd never really tried anything from the brand Votary before, but as a serum that just kind of does all of the things that you want a night treatment to do, refresh your skin, hydrate it, protect it. Yeah, it did everything right. I definitely felt like it worked in just, again, keeping my skin tone even, keeping my skin hydrated and healthy. Combined with a normal moisturizer. I liked this a lot more than I thought I would going into the brand blind. Not repurchased it, but would definitely consider in the future if I didn't have a backlog of insane amounts of products to still get through that I do have to move into a new house with me. Sorry, Jeff. Ooh, coming to the end now. Zellen's Instant Recharge Mask. This was a lovely little weekend sort of treatment. It's always nice on a Sunday when the scaries rise up within you to pour yourself a Sunday cocktail, to put a mask on and watch some trash TV, either Bridgerton or whatever science fiction fantasy series I happen to be binging at the time. Lovely product. Again, have not tried much from Zellen, so was happy to try something in a sample size from them. It's not revolutionary. You don't wake up with a new face, but if what you're looking for is kind of a very, very light exfoliating treatment and cleansing sensation, lovely. The Seated Queen. Cassiopeia Serum Concentrate. I found this to be extremely hydrating and nourishing. Um, I've not tried anything else from them. They're a very small independent brand, but I am definitely interested in buying a full size of the serum concentrate again once I've whittled down my collection a bit more. This did lovely things to my skin over particularly the evening. So if I put it on at night, layered some moisturizer over it, I felt very, very hydrated and my skin felt protected, especially during the winter. Once again, fighting, if not outright melasma, then a melasma mask effect. This was a new to me find this year, and I love it. Saatchi's States of Skin Trifala Pigmentation Corrector. This is another, I believe, independent brand that purports to be based on Ayurvedic medicine. I'm not in any kind of position to judge that, but it's specifically designed to help fade the appearance of stubborn discolorations and hyperpigmentations for a more even-toned complexion. Does what it says on the tin. Again, you have to use a product regularly and over a period of time that you can measure the effects, take photos, make sure that you're tracking the results. I found that it absolutely helped my skin turn over and reduced my pigmentation overall. I have another one of these in my bathroom cabinet. I will absolutely repurchase these again in the future. I can personally really recommend them. They're fantastic products. And then this is a bit of an oldie but a goodie. I'm sure you can tell I'm not using as many face masks as I used to, and I mentioned I haven't used as many acids this year. I'm not as exfoliating as roughly or intensely, I think, as I used to. I used to go through one of these Peter Thomas Roth's pumpkin enzyme masks every 6 months or so. This took me over a year to finish. I don't even know how good it was by the end. But it's a very, very rough sort of exfoliant. So if you're really looking to take off layers of skin, that works for you, but that's not what I'm trying to do to my face anymore. So I don't think I'm going to be repurchasing this one, which is kind of end of an era. It was used for many years. It worked for many years, particularly neck, décolletage, and face, but it's too rough for what I'm trying to do to my skin these days. But if you are not as tender as I am and you are looking for an aggressive kind of exfoliant, this is one to watch. Okay, and then as always, wear your SPF, people. Oldies but goodies from me this year. I have been wearing the same SPF brands now for several years. Anyone who's watched one of these from me before will recognize Ultraviolet, an Australian brand, and Thank You Farmer, a Korean skincare brand. Love them, can't recommend them highly enough. Have turned so many friends onto both of these. Pick them up if you haven't tried it. I prefer the Supreme Screen Hydrating Skin Facial Sunscreen from Ultraviolet and the Water Sun Cream from Thank You Farmer. The other thing that I have finished up this year was something that I picked up for the summertime, which was Ultraviolet's SPF 50 Preen Screen, which is just a non-aerosol spray sunscreen. I'm trying to be even more diligent about SPF than I am now, but I don't always remember to touch up my SPF before coming home in the evening, or starting a new job this year as I did. My office has a lot of direct sunlight in the summertime, and I'm the kind of girl who burns through a car window or an office window. So I got this to just keep an eye on things. That was a good purchase. I will probably do the same next summer, but if you don't do something similar, you can't just put your SPF on once at the start of the day and expect it to see you through it. You have to top up. Make sure you're topping up. Alrighty, chugging right along. Guys, you wouldn't know it to look at me today. Why am I filming this today? I don't know. You wouldn't know to look at me today, but I actually made progress on learning how to do my hair this year. I'm only 38, we're doing great, baby. This year I got through multiple hair care and styling products, and probably to no one's surprise, given how much I ranted and raved positively about this last year, the brand that I have the most items from used up this year is JVN, Jonathan Van Ness's hair care brand. I love it. I think it's really good. I got through 3 deluxe or travel size tubes of his air dry cream, which is fantastic for lazy girls who can't be arsed to blow dry their hair some days. That's what this was for, is to give your hair some shape, or not curl. It's not a curl protector, but it just gives, if you have wave to your hair as I do, this is a fantastic way to look as though you've actually done something to it when you possibly haven't. I have the full size one of these that I currently use. Love it, highly recommend. More JVN. I got through one of his deep moisture masks, which is, you know, a hydration or deep conditioning treatment. Use this once a week, again at the weekends when you're doing an everything shower. Put this in instead of regular conditioner, and leave it in for a bit longer, let it deep condition. Beautiful. Not done with JVN. I got through some styling products of his, which I loved. This is the conditioning mist, so it's a spray-in conditioner. Does exactly what it says on the tin. Really liked it. I'm the kind of girl, I have very fine hair, so I need like a conditioner or a detangling kind of spray. This is beautiful for that. But the standout product to me is the Complete Instant Recovery Serum. I love this stuff. Again, this is the year I feel like I finally learned how to do my hair, and the trick all of this time, bad for lazy girls, is that you need to use more than one kind of product. Again, like my teenage friends are screaming at the screen through me right now. But this is a heat protectant as well as a styling aid. So what you do is, once your hair is towel dried, take some of it in your hands, rub it through, particularly on the ends, not so much around the scalp, and then blow dry your hair and style it. Again, it's a heat protectant. It's just kind of a nourishing serum, and it helps keep the end result of styled hair incredibly smooth and luscious looking. It's fantastic. I love it. It took me a long time to use it up because I'm not hair girly, but I already have another one of these on the go. I had a bit of a scare, to be honest, because I think the JVN brand was acquired by another beauty brand or company, which then went out of business. I don't know all the details. So for a while it was unfindable in the UK. So when I did find someone that was selling kind of their last remaining stock, I bought 2 or 3 just so I could have them to hand, because I was afraid the brand was going to go out of business. Luckily that's not the case. The supply chain order is restored, but I have a backlog of this in my bathroom, but I'm not mad about it because I know I'm going to use them up. Let's see, scalp treatment. Apple cider vinegar from DP Hughes scalp scrub with pink Himalayan sea salt. Scalp scrubs are weird to me. I get a lot of scalp buildup because I have eczema, and one of the places it appears is on my scalp, so I get very scaly and oily patches, which are the bane of my existence. But when I think about hair care and having to do my hair, like, it's mostly about scalp care for me. So this is a scalp scrub, as I said, a salt-based one. It's fine. It does help clean my scalp, but again, I'm lazy. The sheer amount of like extra shampooing and scrubbing it takes to get this out of my hair after I've used it is a bit of a turnoff for me. Not because it doesn't work, but again, because I'm lazy. And for that reason, I probably wouldn't necessarily repurchase. There are liquid kind of exfoliants or treatments that better suit the way that I like to care for my hair and my body than this does, but it did work. Alrighty then, and now finally rounding up the travel sizes. I have a Divine's OI, don't know how that's pronounced, shampoo. This is recommended for girls with fine hair, girls and guys with fine hair, and I bought a small version of it after a beauty editor and writer whose work I have followed for years recommended it. Worked so well that I bought the full size. Dizziac Deep Conditioner. Got this in an advent calendar, and again, it's another kind of deep conditioning treatment that I used once a week until it ran out. Really liked it. Treated my hair very nicely. And then, surprisingly, I only have one dry shampoo, which again, for a lazy girl is shocking, but not surprising is that it's Living Proof's Perfect Hair Day. I've used this for years, highly recommended. Amazed that I only got through one this year so far, to be honest. But again, if it were filming this in December, who knows? Highly recommend. Okay, and now the last category, body care. Got through quite a bit this year, but again, kind of surprised at how much there is, but also how little there is, if that makes any sense. Let's start with the shower stuff. 2 body cleansers so far. One is L'Occitane en Provence's oil, shower oil, almond oil, cult classic, favorite for a reason. Because I don't like body oils as much, it might be surprising to see that I like this, but that's because it lathers up beautifully. So again, this is a lovely wintertime product. You can also, well, I also use it for bathing, you know, just to put some in a hot bath if I'm taking it. Probably will purchase this again in the future at some point. It's lovely. Now, having gotten through something a little bit more expensive, I just picked up Space NK's body wash in Nordic Wilds. The scents are black pepper, juniper berry, and tonka bean, all things that I like. So both my husband and I tend to share whatever showering products are in there. I don't always grab his stuff when he finishes up and tosses it or recycles it. So I'm sure I'm missing other kind of body washes that I will have used over the years. But that's because they're his and not mine. Let's see. Ooh, this, however, is absolutely all mine. Necessaire's the body exfoliator. Just, again, an exfoliating gel and scrub kind of combo that you use in the shower. Again, when you're doing your everything shower at the weekend and you're just trying to take a layer off and you want to feel refreshed and renewed, this is fantastic. I love the Necessaire brand. They've now since expanded to more scents. They used to just have, I believe, eucalyptus and fragrance free when they first launched. Now they have a bunch more, so hopefully in the coming year I'll try more things from them. I've used up their products in the past, will absolutely continue to do so. Let's do something gross before we go on to the fun stuff. Let's talk about anti-deodorants and antiperspirants. Again, you've seen these before. This is just L'Oreal's. And once again, they're my husband's. I tend to use men's deodorant and I've just always stolen his, and here we are, 15 years married. It's working. This is the Carbon Protect 5-in-1, which I use the most. So I have both aerosol and roll-on. Used up 3 of these so far. But Jeff has been on something of a quest this year to find different deodorants that work for him as well as antiperspirants. And he actually tried a product from ACT London, AKT. They talk about, or their whole thing is, I believe, natural deodorants, but don't click off. This stuff actually works. They make balm deodorants, and which isn't something that I've ever really thought of or tried before, but I really, really liked the one that Jeff got for himself to try, and the scent that he got. So I actually got a sample pack from ACT, and I think 5 of their balm style deodorants came in. I've used up 2 so far, one in Halcyon Summer and the other in the Orange Grove. The more amazing thing about this is not just that they're lovely, but they work. I found them to be really useful antiperspirants and anti-deodorant. So once I'm through my sample pack, I will be buying a full-size one in the scent that I like the most. And then Unlovely foot and shoe spray, because summer happens. Finishing up with body care, I've gotten through 2 body lotions so far this year. And again, if I were filming in December, I think I would have a third, which would be another one of these Garnier tubs. This is their body superfood. This one is in the avocado kind of scent, which was really lovely and fresh and green for summer. I'm currently using their cocoa butter version, which I like better, but used it up. And then cult favorite, Kiehl's Creme de Coeur. It's not one of the massive bottles that I've had in previous years, but it is the 500 milliliter, and I got through it. And that's my big bag of trash for 3/4 of the way through 2024. I need to do a separate video about all of the ways in which I have failed my personal goals this year so far. It's kind of tragic and a little bit embarrassing, but you know, it's good stuff has happened this year too. So we were able to go back to the States to see Jeff's family for a solid 2 weeks, which was lovely. I've been able to see my siblings multiple times this year, which has been fantastic and very rare for my family. But one of my brothers got married, so we were able to see his wedding. I've hosted friends and family traveling through London in this direction, including my other brother and his wife. And Jeff got to do his fun trip to the Alps, and I got to do mine to New York. So while a bunch of goals are going to be sad failures, a bunch of others are wonderful wins. So we'll do a proper challenge update in which preview of coming attractions. I will confess to failing monumentally, but then also talking maybe about the move situation, because this is kind of a big move for us in a lot of ways. It's the furthest out or away from central London that we've ever been. We're still only in like zone 3, I think, so it's not a big deal. But for a girl who's lived in zone 1 or zone 2 for over a decade now, this is a big move. It's also, I think, going to be the largest space we've ever lived in the time that we've been married. So it feels like a monumental move. And so hopefully this is the last place we're going to live before we're in a position to buy our own house. That's what we wanted from living here. We planned to rent here until we had saved up enough for a deposit for a down payment, but alas, the slings and arrows of outrageous market fortunes got in the way for our landlord, which is devastating. He's a lovely man. We actually have a great relationship with him. But hopefully this is our last move before we move to a house that we will own and live in for many, many years to come. But that means in the meantime, house is a wreck. Oh, and our bathroom, our current bathroom, is also being ripped up and worked on while we're prepping for this move because it was leaking into the apartment beneath us. Tragic. Tragic. But so we're showering at our gym at the moment. Our house is a disaster zone. I haven't folded the laundry in a couple of weeks. Work is crazy and hectic, and we're moving house. How's your summer finishing up? Let me know.